Hey, what's up, everybody? It's J-Rock right here, hitting you with another comic review. Today, we're going to be reviewing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but we're going to be reviewing the relaunch of Ninja Turtles. This was written back in 2012. So, if you're in your 30s, you remember the Ninja Turtles from the 80s. There was a big boom, they were a huge deal. So, they've been relaunched, to introduce them to a new audience. This is written by Tom Waltz and the artwork is by Duncan. Now, I thought they really did the Turtles justice in this first volume, and they changed some things around, and even a little bit of the characters' personalities. Not necessarily the Turtles, but some of the other characters. Some of their personalities are different, and their storyline, their backstories are a little different as well, giving them a little more depth. Which I don't think it didn't change them too drastically to the point where you will be turned off by them. If you like the original series, you're probably gonna like this one. Immediately on the first page, you see there's like a gang war popping off. Everybody's fighting in the park, in the middle of the streets of New York. Now you see Splinter, you see the Turtles, you see this cat named Hob. He's missing an eye. He has an eye patch, so you're like, all right, I guess he's their main villain right now, right? They're fighting him. Then it cuts back. It tells you why is this fight going on. This is how it all started. Then we're introduced to April O'Neil. She's working at this lab with Dr. Baxter Stockman, much like in the original series and the old series, and also in the cartoons. He created these mousers, these big robots that are always going after Splinter because he's a rat. So they're together working on this serum for the turtles. That you see little turtles as pets, and also Splinter right there. And you see Baxter Stockman talking to General Krang on the phone. We don't get to see Krang, but we get to hear him. So he's off panel, but we're introduced to him already. And now we have a reason why everything's in motion. Why are the turtles there? What is the oxygen there, and so forth. It turns out Krang wants the scientists to create this serum for secret super soldiers for the army, right? Okay, so we got a good reason. It's changed enough from the original one. And now April O'Neil on the cartoon, she's a news reporter. On the original comics, she also worked for this lab. I think on the original comics, she worked for this lab and she was a news reporter. I can't remember. But here she works for this lab. So these ninjas come in trying to steal that serum because they also want it. And if you're familiar with the Turtles, you know they're the Foot Clan. But at this time, we're not told they're the Foot Clan. So we don't know who they are. If you're new to them, you just know they're ninjas and they want the serum. If you're not new to them, you know the leader of the Foot Clan is Shredder. So he's obviously sending them here and he wants the serum. So Splinter the rat scratches one of these ninjas in the face. The ninja drops Splinter, drops the oxygen and the turtles and so forth. Everything gets spilled everywhere. And it falls outside of the building. Because these ones are on the rooftops trying to escape and so forth. Now where this oxygen falls, it lands all over the turtles, lands all over Splinter, but it also, there's this cat in the alley, like alley cat riding around. He tries to grab one of the turtles, Splinter scratches him. So you can tell from this, that's Hob. He's missing an eye now because of Splinter back when before they got mutated. So it kind of explains why this gang war is popping up and why he's their villain. Turns out he was also mutated and he hates the turtles and Splinter for what they did to his eye. So he has a grudge against them, and this lab is looking for the turtles because they want that serum back and they want their experiments back, being the turtles. They find this guy Hob. He's like, look, I know who these turtles are. They fucked up my eye. So he works with them. So now they're like, we'll give you some backup. We'll send you some henchmen to help you go look for these guys. So it's kind of building up like he's the main villain now. I like what they did here. They added him. He wasn't in the original comics. That was pretty cool. What I'm worried about right now is Shredder still going to be the big bad? Because I'm a big fan of Shredder. He's my favorite character in the Turtle universe. So now you're like, oh, well, it seems like he's the big bad guy, not Shredder. Which also leads me to believe this ninja from the Foot Clan that got scratched by Splinter. Shredder in the original comics gets scratched by Splinter. So maybe that guy they dropped them might be Shredder. We don't know yet. We're not introduced to Shredder or anything yet. So that's my guess right now. Then we find out Why the turtles fell, Raphael kind of got lost somewhere else. So he's walking around. He's been lost for a year on his own, while the other two turtles have been together. He finds this kid getting beaten on by his parent. So he jumps in and helps him. He goes, "Hey, you always like beating on kids." Turns out this kid is Casey Jones. So see here they changed how they originally met. They originally met in the park and they fought each other. Here he went to save him from getting abused by his dad, and him and Casey Jones become real good friends. And at this point, he still doesn't know who the turtles are, where his brothers are, and so forth. But we know they're looking for him. So that's about all there is to the story. At the end of it, Casey Jones and Raphael are walking around, and they bump into Hobbs, and Hobbs is with these goons that the backup they gave him. And he says, "You remember me?" And immediately Raphael remembers he's the cat from when we were getting mutated. So as he's remembering this, wow, they clock Casey Jones over the head. Wow, they clock Raphael over the head. So they're both passed out in the park. And as this happens, the other three turtles show up because they were looking for Hobbs themselves. They're like, "Oh, there's our long lost brother Raphael, and there's Hobbs." So, needless to say, another fight's gonna pop off, and now they found their lost brother. I thought this story, it moved along real quick. The dialogue wasn't too dialogue heavy, but it told you everything you needed to know. The story was kind of a search and rescue type mission, while at the same time introducing us to other characters for the first time. It was done very well. Like I said, it was changed, but not too much. Like most of the core characters are still the core characters, and a lot of the things they did originally are kind of still the same. The one big change was introducing us to Hobbs, like adding him in the mix, where he got mutated with them. That was to me the one big change that actually mattered because he's a big part of the story, and he's shaping up to be a pretty cool character. He has he stands out. He has his own personality, which also another thing I wanted to say about this was the turtles right now. They don't each have their own separate personality. They don't have a lot of difference between one and another. Raphael isn't the big mean guy. Donatello isn't the brainiac. Michelangelo isn't the immature one. They're all kind of the same except for Leonardo. He's kind of the play it safe, we're the leader, and the other turtles mock him for it. They're like, "Oh, you're such a teacher spay. You never disobey Splinter." When sometimes you gotta realize he's not always right. Sometimes his advice is wrong. He's old school. You know what I mean? So I like that sometimes they define him as not just Raphael, like in the old series it was always Raphael, or in the cartoons here. Also it couldn't be because Raphael wasn't with them, so the other turtles are the ones defying Splinter. So it was a great read. Can't wait to read the second part to this. I also want to see what's going on with Krang, how he looks. Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably hit this with like a 9. It was a strong read, solid story, great introduction to everybody. Told us everything we need to know, got those wheels greased, and kept you wanting to read more of it. So I can't wait to read volume 2. If you guys have read this before, let me know in the comments what you thought about this first volume or these first 4 issues. Also, I'd like to thank you guys for taking some time out of your day to check this video out and read along with me. Okay, other than that, I guess that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll check you guys out next time.